Hello and welcome to this week's US Stock Market Report. I'm Dale Gillham, Chief Analyst at Wealth Within. This week I'll be discussing oil and then I'll dive into the Dow Jones and some various stocks on the Dow Jones Index. Before we jump into the report, I'd just like to mention if you have any thoughts on investing, please comment and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our new content. So let's get into this week's report. Oil is once again black gold, rising. But is this an opportunity to profit or have you missed the boat? Recent excitement in the market has been around the surge in oil, which achieved well over $70 a barrel this week. While you may want to understand the reason for the rise, knowing this won't make you money and can actually mislead you into buying at the wrong time. For example, the International Energy Agency, or IEA, lifted its forecast for oil demand early last year, but did it head higher as many expected? No, in fact, oil was already rising strongly prior to the announcement. Oil had already peaked at around $55 and fell heavily afterwards. Another example, in March and May of 2017, a rise in oil was described as a big rally. However, the chart indicated otherwise, as a rally hadn't been confirmed. These rises were actually suckers rallies, which lasted for a few weeks before oil continued to decline to US $42 a barrel. So what have we learned? Well, simply it's more important to understand the price history and where it's headed. And this principle doesn't just apply to oil. It works for any stock and any market. Remember, it is about the transfer of wealth from those without knowledge to those with knowledge. So ask yourself honestly, which group am I in and where would I like to be? While a further rise is likely for oil, the chart indicates that it will pull back soon before the next rise. So there'll be new opportunities to profit in 2018 when the time is right. Now let's get into the charts. All right, on your screen right now we have a weekly chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average there, and as you can see here, it's been quite interesting this. I mean, I did think it was going to go down to that 22,320 points. It was looking decidedly bearish, although the last couple of weeks, as I mentioned, there's a lot of indecision in that market, with most recent high being at 26,616 in January. Its low obviously is this bar here. It did fall very, very quickly down to 23,360. But interesting enough, last week we had the really strong move on it, where it opened at 24,317 and traded right up to 24,868 and closed just off its high there at 24,831. It's just showing that the market is quite bullish. Interestingly, it did break above that previous peak of 24,858 points, and this means we could see another 1 or 2 more weeks up. Now, if we get one more week up and then it starts to fall away, then it will be likely it'll probably start to fall below that low there of 23,531 and possibly below these other lows through here and start heading this way. If it rises for 3 or 4 weeks, then that changes my opinion. Now, in trading, what I find a lot of traders do is they get fixed on a position, whereas the best traders are flexible in their approach. Now, when nobody's ever going to be 100% right, so you always need to be prepared to be, what is my options and where can I be wrong? Where am I being proved to be wrong? And at this point in time, we're in limbo at the moment. It's looking like it might be going up, but we're not 100% sure it's going up. And it's always better to be determined direction first. Always direction first, then look at how you enter into a marketplace, whether you're entering to the Dow itself or whether it's a stock that you're looking at. So right now, maybe 1 or 2 more weeks up. If it only gets 1 week up or we get a down week moving forward, then especially if we get a down week this week, then you're looking at very much these lows or more recent lows will be in danger of being broken if we get a week up or 2 weeks up. The more weeks up at the moment, the better for the Dow. Let's now get into the energy stocks. Now, I want to talk to you about ExxonMobil first. Now, in my new book that's coming out in the US, it's been fully worked for the US. I do already have it out in Australia using the All Ordinaries Index stocks in Australia, but for US market, I think it's going to be about September it'll be released. I've used all the 30 stocks on the Dow and I've traded those, and the results are absolutely phenomenal. And you really need to understand that the book is talking about using pretty much a rule on a pencil to trade these stocks and get excellent results. Not too complex. ExxonMobil in the Dow Jones, and so Chevron, which is the next stock I'm looking at. I'll actually show you how I'm actually trading these sorts of stocks and looking at them so that you can profit from it. ExxonMobil has had its all-time high back there in 2014 at $104, and it went quite bearish, and we've seen this move here down into last month, and this is a monthly chart of ExxonMobil, and I'll just expand it out here. And you can see the last 2 months have been quite bullish, especially the current month. We're still, halfway through May at this point in time, and it has been a very nice month at this point in time. If the close does stay right up the top of this bar, then we should see another couple of months move up onto this stock, maybe 2 to 3 months up, maybe 1 or 2 months down. If we do that, then it augurs well for this stock to break through that high there of $89 and possibly even get right up to these sorts of highs here, around that $95 mark in the short term. So it is looking quite good at the moment, although it hasn't confirmed it's stopped falling, but it is looking quite good. Let's get into Chevron, another big company. For some reason, I just opened my data and I don't actually have data back prior to 2016. I do need to have a look at that. The monthly chart is on the left and the weekly chart is on the right of screen. Again, on the monthly, you can see here it's had 3 months straight up. Its recent high that all I've got is January 2018 at $133, but you can see here it opened and closed right down on the low of that bar, which meant it was quite bearish, but this is looking quite bullish and looking like it might move through that previous high. Now, importantly, what we've got to do, if I bring up this weekly chart so you can see it, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks straight up without any sort of pullback. The last low here was back in April, or the weekend in the 6th of April. So what I would expect to see 1 or 2 weeks down on Chevron. Hopefully it might happen this week. If it goes up another week, then the more it goes up now, the higher the chance the next week will be down. And so we might get 1 to 2 weeks down. If the down move only comes back down to that 122 to 120 sort of dollars there, then that would augur well for another strong rise. Now, the least it falls here, the better, which means there's not a lot of selling in it. And that will mean when it does start to rise after the brief fall, it will fall for 1 or 2 weeks soon. And there's no doubt about that. But when it does fall, if it doesn't fall very much, when it starts to rise, it could be a really good opportunity for you. And when it does start to rise, it'll break that high, and then it'll break this high, this recent high in January. So it could be a really nice little trade for you. Let's get into a stock ticker code of ConocoPhillips. It's a COP, or C for Charlie, O for Oscar, P for Peter. Nice volatile stock. There's very big movements, and you can see here the all-time high on that was back in June 2008, and we had the biggest recent low was February 2016. Looking very, very strong if you're looking at the monthly chart, and you can see here has several months moving straight up, and last month and this month looking quite strong. Here, looking at the weekly chart, just to show you again a bit of an example, we had a move up to a high here. Come on, get my little pointer to work. I get on the right. To the week ending the 20th of April at that $67, and it moved down for 1 week. That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. Stocks will rise for 1 to 4 weeks and fall for 1 to 4 weeks, roughly. And it's a bit of an elastic band there, but generally you'll have lows every 4 to 7 weeks on any market. And that's the sort of, or any market or any stock. So we've had that week down. So we've got 1, 2 weeks up. So I'm expecting 2, maybe 3 more weeks up, then another 1 or 2 weeks down. Right now, looking good. If you do own it, stay with it. It looks pretty good for me. Last stock we're going to look at is a company called EOG Resources. Now, again, interestingly, here's your monthly chart. Here we've got, it's pushed right through to make a high. And if I just scroll that up again, you can see here that that is just gone broken through that previous all-time high at 118.89 there. So you're looking at it's just broken through here, and it's getting some indecisions. You'll see that when stocks or markets get to a previous all-time high, you'll sometimes see indecisions as people, traders don't know whether it's going to push through or not, and looking whether it might be a double top. And this can trick people, and you'll see institutions selling into that to say to people, hang on, it's double top. And then other people start to sell it, then institutions will come back in and buy and make a small amount of profit on a large volume of trades. And that's why you're seeing a little bit of indecision there. So there is a vacuum, will be a vacuum sitting above that price, so that if it does break through, you'll see a lot of buyers come to take it off. So interestingly, if you are in this stock, it's still saying to me to hold it. If you're not in the stock, just wait and see what it's going to do. But at this point in time, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks up. I would expect 1 or 2 weeks down. So if it does only have 1 or 2 weeks down and start to rise, it could also be another good opportunity to see it break through that all-time high. So good luck, good trading. I hope you've enjoyed this week's report. And if you've got any stocks you want me to have a look at, let me know. What are your thoughts? If you've got any questions, please comment below. Go and listen to our Talking Wealth podcast. They're available on SoundCloud and on our website. Now they're jam-packed with valuable information which will help you elevate your trading. Now if you're serious about learning to trade the share market and you'd like more information about our courses, please click the link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've liked the video, remember to subscribe to keep up to date. I'm Dale Gillham, the Chief Analyst here at Wealth Within. Goodbye, good luck and good trading.